Um, Hello?
Hello, good morning. I'm calling Silvertone Storm headquarters. May I speak to Mr. Page, please?
Hurricane's over.
Oh, okay, then I'll hang up the red phone now.
It's over. You missed it. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Page. Happy Sunday.
Cheers. Happy Sunday.
And
What a hallelujah. What a
hallelujah.
blessed day.
Blessed, lucky, and all the way around.
It's true.
Welcome to the Lipstick Pickup Podcast.
It's good to be back.
It is so good to be here. I'm welcoming yet again my Nashville neighbor, Matthew Paige, who lives less than a couple of miles from me, and we've had a fun weekend here. 4 days of
Yeah.
storms.
They just keep coming. I'm not sure they're over. So, hang in there.
Thoughts are with people. Yeah, our thoughts are with people affected by what's been going on, and we've been trying to lay low and care about people and stay out of the way of the storm. Pay attention to the news, and we're doing okay, and we're very grateful.
Yeah, we are. Hopefully
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
So
Yeah.
we're going to call absolutely we're going to call this episode Silvertone Storm Sunday. And the reason why I'm calling my good friend Matthew Paige today is that I've been giving myself some performance reviews on our early podcasts, and I need work. Matthew Page, however, does not. So if anybody else needs a podcast person, he's your man. I asked him this weekend if we could re-record the episode in which we talk about a guitar that was very iconic and important early in his career in Nashville, which was a Silvertone. We're not even geek out on the models anymore. If people want to know, they can go to Wikipedia. But Matthew Page has a history with Silvertone guitars. Yeah, for the audio listener, he's got a Silvertone Storm going right there, and he's even dressed for the part. He's
It's a
wearing
hurricane of Silvertones.
a Silvertone Twister.
Cyclone.
He has a history with Silvertone guitars, and when we first started recording, it was over a year ago that we started recording, and that's why I asked you to help me re-record this one, because the early recording we made of this could be improved in sound and video quality. I'm trying to get a little bit better myself, but your performance was perfect, which is why I wanted to re-record it, because you told me so much great stuff about that Silvertone, which I did not know when I first met you, even though I was a fan of your band. It was before I started paying attention to guitar so much.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
you're the one who informed me. You sent me a picture of you with glasses pre-LASIK. I don't know, is that the first year or two that you're in Nashville?
Yeah, probably 2 years after I got to Nashville, I was performing a lot, and I was sweating a lot, and my glasses would fall off, and then I'd be blind, and then I would step on my glasses, and then I'd fall off the stage, and then I would like smash my teeth into the microphone because I couldn't see how far the microphone was, so I was chipping my teeth. I was like, okay, we got to fix something. I was wearing the croquis that tie your glasses on so they wouldn't fall off, but then I couldn't wipe the sweat away from my eyes, so I was just stinging my eyes. It was yeah, I highly recommend LASIK to any performer. You can still wear fake glasses if that's your look. There I am.
For the audio listener, I'm holding up a copy of my compact disc, which I bought, I think the first time I saw the Blackfoot Gypsies, which are now known as DOG,
That's right.
DEOHGEE.
That's right.
And after a name change, very much still the same band, evolved, because at this point you were effectively a two-piece.
It has evolved over the years, and I'm not sure we're done yet. We started as a two-piece, Zach Murphy and myself, drums and guitar, which the white stripes and the black keys, we'll get to that later, were very popular at the time, so two-piece bands weren't out of the norm. So I just moved to Nashville, and I was getting going. I didn't know anyone. I was 19. I couldn't go to bars and actually hang out and schmooze with the people who were actual musicians. So um, anyway, put one ad on Craigslist later, and in walks to my life Zach Murphy, and that was 15 years ago. Um, and so I played this guitar behind me because you don't have to be in tune with anybody else. And I would tune it to wide open tuning, and I would play slide. I would play through a guitar amp and a bass amp at the same time, and it just had the best sound. And it was the one I could afford, and it's the one that was around. And yeah, all those American-made catalog guitars were of super interest to me because they had. I was looking for different sounds that weren't just your Gibson plugged into a Fender and okay, or a Telecaster plugged into a Fender. I mean, there's 30 of them happening in downtown Nashville right now. So anyway, picking these, even when you have a line of them, right, they all sound a little bit different, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think they meant to do that, but subsequently, after vintage instruments sit around and develop their own thing, and one guy was winding the pickups a little more than the other guy who took his shift over, and so I don't know. They all turned out weird. Anyway, this one is my baby, and it's been through a lot. I beat it. I worked it so hard. Like I feel like I'm not like scared to bring it anywhere because it's like, oh, but I would just hot, cold, punk rock, throw it, toss it, took the neck off and put it in a messenger bag from an airplane ride and just put it back together when I got there. Just like not even caring. And it held up. To be fair, it's durable.
It's still there. And I want to remind one thing that we talked about when we recorded before, and I want to remind our listeners the reason why you were such a godsend to me, excuse the pun. I was looking for people to talk to me about these Dan Electro Silvertone instruments, and you were really the first person that I got to talk to that had a serious inflection point with this instrument. And when earlier to the audio listener, I was holding up the CD of On the Loose, the actual CD out of the package. I'm going to hold up the cover of my compact disc. But the actual CD, it's Zach and Matthew with his iconic Silvertone, and it was a really big part of the record.
That's that one. It was, yes, absolutely.
You should have done, and when you did the cover in black and white, you should have done it in black and silver.
Well, I was shooting for gold. It's supposed to be gold, and we made, to just touch on that for a second, we had vinyl records, but the cheapest way to make vinyl records was a blank cover. So we ordered blank, not that, printed on the cover, and I made a stencil out of my friend's old rubber air mattress, cut that very image out, Blackfoot Gypsies on the Loose, and we spray painted all of them in a house. And we got very high on paint fumes and sent them all off, and it was a lot goopier and more disorienting than we had ever anticipated. And so for the lucky few out there, I think we printed up 500 of them or something, so there's a handful of them out there in the world, still with goopy paint.
I really love this record. I know sometimes I tell you how much I do. It makes you feel uncomfortable.
What do I say to that? Good. I'm glad it worked.
I remember when we talked the first time I asked you about its use on this record, and primarily it's the guitar sound on this record, right?
Pretty much.
Man. And I Don't Know About You.
Yes.
I like that song. Can I play a few seconds?
Yeah, that's all this guitar. The slide part, the strum part. It's pretty much boom.
We're still trying to, with Matthew's help, still trying to improve the quality or professionalism of our podcast. But we still have no rights, and I don't know how to mix music in here, so I just pull it up on my phone and I play it, and it's kind of like fun, like you're riding in the car with a transistor radio.
Just turn your speakers up.
Yes. I like the double entendre, is what they call this. I don't know about you. I don't know about you.
I don't know about you.
It's one of many clever songs on here, and I've got my eyes on you.
You better learn.
I love that song. Hey, it's Sunday. I don't know if it's on this, but since it's Sunday, let's talk about Stone Throwing Angels.
Yeah, that's. I think that's on there. Is it not? I kind of forget which one it's on.
Sounds like gospel to me.
Oh yeah. I used the amping case amplifier. I used the amping case amplifier with that guitar.
On this one?
On parts of this song, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I play a little more then?
Yeah, please. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
I love this song, and it's Sunday, so let's talk about angels and
Yeah.
throwing stones. Just kidding.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll grow up to be like you. I'm crazy as can be if my wife can only come to. 20 years ago it wasn't this way, and I think about it every day. Don't wanna let you down. You just let them stone blood angels come and stand by me. Let them stone blood angels come and stand by me.
Have we gotten to the part that you're talking about where you use the amp?
No, on the next verse, there's these. If you go 20 more seconds down the line, there's these. I hit these big chords and it goes wah 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 wah, and that's the vibrato in the amp of the that amp in case amp. I think.
Oh, well, I want to try to pull it up. It's Sunday. Let's chill out. Let's have a listening party.
Yeah, give it a
The
listen.
storm's gone. We survived. Let's rock.
You got 3 kids in the yard and a wife to come and warm your bed.
Yeah, it'll be after this next chorus, I believe.
And a fugitive conscience that better life goes on.
I'll just let it play.
Let it play.
20 years ago it wasn't this way, and I think about it every day. Don't wanna let you down. You just let them stone blood angels come and stand by me. Let them stone blood angels come and stand by me.
Hallelujah.
Wah 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 wah. Like, yeah, it's the best vibrato I've ever heard on an amp, man. It's the best.
Okay, I love this record.
Good.
On the loose.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And you've listened to a lot of music, so your judgment goes a long way.
The great thing about our history is that I was a longtime fan of your band before you started helping me. So it's not some back scratching situation we have here. It was a real pleasure to find. I was looking for somebody with a history with this guitar in this town, and I found it in a familiar place. Matthew Paige.
Hey, right down the street.
Of the band Blackfoot Gypsies. The first time I saw you, I was an instant fan, just like everybody else who's ever seen you. So I want to get you to show me that guitar again, because we talked about the construction, and one thing I loved about our first chat was your defense of the primitive construction of this guitar, the things that you loved about it.
Yes.
And I'm going to need you to do that song and dance for me again.
Yes. Well, as you know, the Masonite is really durable. So going around the country and in and out of the back of a van, it was like impressively durable. Hollow. So it's got like a hollow. I always like hollow guitars too. So there's like, I don't know if they're doing it out of affordability. If we don't need a chunk of wood, let's just put it together. It works great. I don't know how they did it. It's beautiful though. I've heard stories, of why they chose all this stuff, because it was extra laying around Sears or whatever. Who knows? You do. It's got a really thick neck, like durable neck. It's impressively durable. And they used a metal nut so that they like on fine instruments they would use bone normally, which requires shaping and proper. It requires more time, and these guys are doing it on a budget. Same with this. They threw a piece of wood underneath the strings, and between that wood and that nut, it offered a really unique tone that I don't know if they were intending to offer. But between those elements and the hollowness and these really impressive pickups, it's so unique, it's and really loud. Actually, it's impressively loud compared to other lipstick pickups. I've tried newer ones, and I've done the rounds with newer Silvertones and Danos, and they're just not as hot. They don't do the thing. I don't know what they changed. They're trying, and I appreciate that, and I hope they keep trying, because if they nail it again, man, that'd be great to be able to just go buy one and be able to put it in a guitar and have it react the same.
I saw. I remember you were excited when you saw the Dan Letcher was redoing the Pro One, because they're using a wood bridge on that, and you were like, yeah,
Yes.
they have a wood bridge, and you were excited about that. And
Absolutely.
in defense of everybody, some people are excited about an intonatable bridge. Matthew's only telling you what he loves about his original baby.
Sure.
You called it your main squeeze one time.
Big time. It was the only guitar I needed, honestly, and it's the only one I wanted. It did everything, and you could plug it into any amp and it sounded like it didn't even matter. There could be improvements on it. They could do some things better, I guess, but just somehow something about this, it doesn't, like, you would think you would make a bridge design where it would hold the end of the strings better rather than tuck it under the edge and just let the tension do all the holding on. But that's all it is. And I strummed the hell out of this thing, and I played it as hard as you could play it, and never once had a string fallen out of this little contraption. So it's perfect.
Yeah.
The bridge is perfect. You can adjust it this way, that way, up and down, whatever. It's perfect. They accidentally nailed it.
Tell me again about you taking it on flights, what you did. You would take the neck off.
Yeah,
And
so...
I love that story of versatility, because it's a screw-on neck. So explain to me what you did there when you were traveling to Europe.
Well, I was going back home to Portland for a weekend, and I didn't want to check a bag, so rather than bring the whole guitar case and the whole, like, oh, I got a guitar, which anybody who's flown with a guitar knows that it's a ordeal no matter what. Every time something is going to happen. So I was just trying to avoid that with my baby. And just like a Fender guitar, it's got a bolt-on neck. So you remove these 3 screws, not 4 like a Fender would have, which maybe they just decided on saving an extra screw. Again, budget brilliance. You want to do that, and then that neck comes off, and you put the neck in front of the body and wrap it in a t-shirt and put it in your backpack, and it's not much bigger than just this body with the neck behind it. And I put it in my backpack, I put it on my shoulder, I went in the overhead compartment, got there,
and
put
it's
it back
lightweight
on, strung it up, good as new.
It looks great on you. In our previous conversation, when you told me when you were seeking these guitars that you had decided that you wanted the red one, because you have a strong color game, and you and I both like the color red.
Yeah, I mean, it also, yeah, I don't know. I think it was a combination of what I could get at the time and what there was, and also, yeah, I'll take the red one any day.
Will you play a little bit on it? Because
Yeah.
you played on our first recording, and it sounded so good.
Yeah, let me tune it real quick. I need 2 seconds. Hey, we're professionals here. I played it in open tuning all the time so that it can make a lot of noise. you get it.
That's astounding, and I want the listener to know it's like a lo-fi operation here. We've got Matthew's got a mic that's. Do you even? He's wearing earbuds. He's recording this thing on earbuds, and it's
Yes,
still.
this brilliant tone brought to you by Macintosh products.
We're a lo-fi operation here.
I mean, I've always loved the lo-fi. It's not same thing with like thrift store. It takes the money out of the equation rather than relying on gear. You just got to be good with what you have, and that is one of the many beautiful things about these Silvertones. Is like they're good enough if you are.
That's right. Ooh. That sounded like somebody throwing an axe.
Yeah, they're great. I've been having fun with it all morning, actually.
Okay. When did you? I've asked you before. You have this in your house of Silvertone. If you still play it out live anymore, and you say you don't, remind me. It's sentimental to you. So
Yeah, I kind of just don't want to, get it stolen or broken or put it through any more treacherous tasks, because it was probably 5 years of straight, every day. We were on the road 220 days a year, every night. And it was like, oh, okay, well, it's a matter of time. And I've been robbed on the road before, so it's like, well, you got to just be really careful with what you bring, and you got to be okay with what you bring getting stolen.
yeah.
So I just decided, not really worth it anymore. And I started playing with a bass player. Love you, Dylan Whitlow. And you got to be in tune with the bass player to sound good, for people to like you. And this guitar will stay in tune for a little while, but it will fluctuate, and it's not perfectly intonated. So when you go to these different chords and whatnot, they'll be a little bit out, which is okay as a two-piece band. So that's just something to be aware of. And that's when I kind of moved to a more note trustworthy guitar to be able to play and it be in tune.
Yeah.
That's all.
I appreciate that explanation. We've shared pictures of, what's this guy, the singer, Mick Jagger?
Oh, I've heard of him.
And he's playing slide on that and some concert footages.
Yes.
Have you ever seen, I've only seen the, is he copying your jam or what? Is he trying to copy you?
I might have been copping his jam. I think that came out right about the time, I think that was the Bigger Bang tour. And yeah, I think that might have planted it. There was a combination of things that all were happening at once where it all just plopped it into my mind that this was the guitar I needed. There was Mick doing that. There was Dex Romweber, who is the king of the two-piece bands, because I love Jack White, and I was like, where did Jack White get this idea? And then I found out about them, the Flat Duo Jets, and I was like, oh, here's the guy. And he had that guitar, and then also just it's a cool old blues guitar, and I love old blues, and these guys, Sleepy John Estes is famous for when he played electric guitar to be playing the black version of this, and I don't know, there's a lot of things pointing towards it.
It suits you, and I was very blessed and lucky to run into you and find you as my Silvertone. You've been my Silvertone authority here in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I want to tell a couple of funny manifestation events that have happened since that happened. I told you during our original recording that I ran into the guitarist Stephen McCarthy at the Jayhawk show, and he said, Emily, I'm enjoying your content, and I had a Silvertone amp in case when I was a kid, and I'm sorry I ever sold it. And we talk about that. Since then, he went and bought one, and he sent me a picture. So
You're keeping them in business.
We manifested that.
Yeah, we did. That's why I never sell guitars, because anybody I ever hear is like, I shouldn't have sold that. So I'm never selling anything.
Another person who's got a relationship with Silvertone guitars is somebody that you and I both are fans of, a gentleman named Beck Hansen.
Yes.
Mr. Hanson.
Mr. Beck. I know about him.
Yeah. Yeah, we're both fans of his, and it's a signature thing for him. Black and white.
Yeah, it is. And yeah, that was always in my mind too, because he's been playing one forever. Like,
And it's-
since day one, and he could have anything he wants, like any guitar at all, and that's still his number one.
Last Sunday, I think it was about a week ago, his account on Instagram posted a picture of a show. I can't remember where it was. He's always on tour, and for good reason. He's fabulous. And it was him with the Silvertone on stage. I wonder if he's like Dex Romweber, where he has just one, or he has. I heard Dex Romweber liked him because he could buy a few. You know, he'd really tear one up and then go get another one, or lose one, or give one away. You know.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Bex is that same old one, or does he have other ones?
There's a few signifiers on his that at least he's been using the same one for a while. I think he has a worn out pick mark on his that is like, oh, that's the one. And I don't think he beats his up like Dex did. Dex rocked like hard a lot. And Beck plays his gingerly.
And
much
Dex
difference.
probably didn't have a guitar tech either.
Probably not. Which so this is the one. This is the Dex Romweber model. It's the one.
Yes.
Speaking of being able to work on them or whatnot, I was working on this one this morning
Yes.
because it's got a little bit of a warp in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see when, for the audio listener and for people, he's holding up a single pickup. When he turns it slightly, you can see that this is the first Masonite that I've seen warped like that, by the way. And I think yours is special. But you can see, turn it again. Watch for the audio listener. You can see that just
Right there by the pickup, you can see how that's bent in a little bit, and the back is a little bit warped out, a little bit of a belly in the back here, which is an interesting combination for this guitar to be such great condition, where as in no one's rubbed their belly against the back, all the sparkles are still there, the neck is not worn down by hands, and the front, all its sparkles, no sweat marks, pretty much flawless, for it to have warped. So wherever it was, it must have been in some sort of temperature fluctuation. That's the only thing that could have been like, it gets hot and gets cold since 1964, and then it develops a little bit of a warp. But okay, so this is where I was getting at. These guitars, they reminded me of like the Volkswagen Beetle, right? That you can work on them, and they're, even if they're messed up, they're designed to be workable in a messed up condition. So here's a little fun thing that was built in. See this little hole right here? Mm-hmm. So these screws hold in the pickup, and you can adjust up or down. These screws hold in the neck, right? But this little guy, it's on my guitar. I never knew what it was or what it did. I was like, oh yeah, it's just it's a breathing hole. Mm-hmm. There's a little screw in there, and it acts as a shim under the neck that you can screw up or down to angle the neck at a different angle. So it holds it, so you can adjust which angle the neck is. So even if this got warped, which it did, you can angle the neck, screw it up a little bit so that when it rests, it is now the right angle to play right. And you can adjust the bridge at 3 points to up, down, sideways, sideways. There's a twist in the neck. If you look down it, right, there's a little bit of a twist in the neck. One side is, the neck is literally gone like this, halfway down it. So you can adjust this bridge to rock with the angle of the neck. So it's warped, it's crooked, but it is built in with the tools to like adjust it to play perfectly. Like now it's in tune, it's intonated, it's warped, and it plays fine all the way up the neck.
Warped just like me. Warped tour.
Dude, it's like they did it by design. To be like, okay, even if it gets messed up, you're still going to be able to work
Let's
it.
see that headstock on that one, because it's in particularly good shape. Don't you think your headstock?
The whole thing is in really good shape.
It's a beaut. Because sometimes that Silvertone logo is worn off, and this
True.
one, ooh,
And the
look
sparkles,
at that.
the sparkles are all still there. You can see
Still
where the wood was
sparkling.
glued together. That seam has become evident, but it's still fine.
Good.
And I mean, look at the design is so cool. They, which is so cool.
I shot you a picture of Nancy Sinatra holding one, and
yeah.
people say she didn't actually play it, but do we really care when she's holding it?
I don't think she was playing guitars. She was selling guitars. Okay.
Exactly. Hey, look at this. See what I'm doing here? Hey, Matthew.
See what I'm doing here?
I'm not playing it, but I'm advocating for it. So let's play that. I want to hear what it sounds like and what your feelings are about the difference between the two of them.
Well, they have a lot of similarities because
Yeah.
they're built from the same gear. They have such a versatility, that's what I think what drew a lot of people to them. So we got one pickup here, right? So between where you pick and the tone and the volume, you're getting a lot of sounds. And you turn the tone all the way down. And it's got sustain. You hear the sustain?
Sustain Sunday.
You hear that? It's still going.
I like your observation about the real estate down there with the one pickup.
Yes. Yes. It was popular to have one pickup on a guitar up here in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
Fender's first electric guitar was one pickup in the bridge. The Fender Esquire, the Nocaster, the Broadcaster were all just one pickup in the neck, or I'm sorry, in the bridge. And then they eventually got two pickups as well, but they were all picking up after each other. But I think this placement is from the original sound hole pickups that you would put into an acoustic guitar that made them electric. So the placement of it is right where the sound hole would be. So they're like, well, that's where the sound comes from. So that's where everybody kind of is used to. So I think that's where the origination of the placement of the original one pickup guitars, that's where that came from. Because like the Django Reinhardt pickup that you would be like you slip it in under the sound hole and you plug it into an amplifier. Those early electronics, the Light and Hopkins pickups, they were all amplifying their acoustic guitars. And so that's the place where they would be. So when they were like, well, let's make just an electric guitar, like, well, where are we going to put it? In the sound hole. And they make great slide guitars. They just sound so good. They got a lot of grit to them, The newer pickups they just don't do the same thing. They do a different thing, and it's very cool. But it bites a little more because I don't think they weren't thinking about it. They were just like, put some wire in there, and it might have been a little too much, and that's why they're a little hotter than the new ones, Yeah, and now it plays perfect, like warped and twisted neck be damned. It's and it's all within the tools of the guitar. It's designed that way to be adjusted as it goes. And people who play banjos know this. Through the seasons, you have to bend your neck. Like when it's hot, your banjo neck's gonna bend. When it's cold, you have to adjust it. You have to move it. Same with guitars, but they did for being a budget guitar, they designed it so well to adjust as it fluctuates. They're like, well, it's gonna warp and it's gonna get weird, so make it move.
All great observations, and I also want to remind the listener who didn't listen to the first one that he bought his red one. He bought the amp and case, and you did record with the amp and case too. And the model that he's holding came with the amp and case, which is another reason why it's so legendary. It helped people play guitar many times.
And same with that amplifier. That just happened to be one of the best amplifiers you could get. 5-watt amplifier. Sounded so good. That's where rock and roll came from, because when you turn that thing all the way up and you just lean into it, it distorted and sounded like punk rock. It was punk rock.
I'll say one thing I love about the newly rebooted, reformed Silvertone, which we've talked to them, is that they call it their moniker, or what they have on their website says Roots of Rock, and they have great information about the history of the Silvertone brand, and we love it all.
Absolutely. And I hope they keep, I know they want to improve, and that would be cool to have options to improve, you know, like, have an option to have a tune-o-matic actual intonation bridge or a stop tailpiece, or, you know, they have tried different things over the years, but I don't think they should stray too far from this idea, because as I said, it's incredibly versatile to work on and whatever. It's pretty well intonated too with one piece of wood. I know some people are really meticulous, but that's not what these guitars are for.
Hell no.
No. You gotta play this guitar. You have to feel it, and if it's a little out of tune because you're a little high, you have to bend with it. You know what I'm saying?
It jams. It suits you. This is it's Sunday, which is a great day for manifestations. And one thing that you talked about in our first recording is that you hope to acquire one of these one pickup black and white ones one day.
You know?
And you're always acquiring guitars. I honestly don't know where they all come from. I think some of them drop out of the sky.
You know, sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. Do you want to let them know? You should let them know. What's the story? Where'd this one come from? Huh?
I want to tell people that one thing I love about buying these guitars is they are attainable and inexpensive. And I went to the Amigo Guitar Show a couple of weeks ago, and I had a great time. I met a vendor from Greenville, South Carolina, who had this one outside the amp and case, which, you know, sometimes you can't find them without that. And it was extremely affordable. And so I bought this one for Matthew as a thank you for all the help that he's given me over a year of assistance. If there had been a person who had been as helpful to me as you have in the last year, I would say, hey man, let's go out for a nice steak dinner and a bottle of wine. And that would probably cost me twice as much as this guitar did.
Probably just the wine.
And Matthew does not drink or eat red meat.
So, but I eat guitars, so bring it on, medium rare.
You said you liked the bite of it.
It bites real good.
Hey, Matthew, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? What are you drinking this Sunday morning?
I'm having...
I'm drinking espresso.
I'm drinking French press.
Ooh, ain't you fancy?
Yeah.
I try to avoid coffee when I'm recording the podcast because my teeth are already ugly enough without all the coffee on my teeth. But...
Nah, you just gotta rock it. Just let them know, you know.
You rocked the Silvertone Storm Sunday, and we're going to have more rain later.
Well, luckily, we both got something to do. You play yours, I'll play mine.
I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to before I lose power, I'm going to immediately edit this podcast and throw it on the internet.
Perfect.
Do you have something Sunday? You told me I should listen to the Gospel Hour on WXNA, and I didn't have a chance because I was busy setting up my podcast studio.
Well, they archive it, and you can listen to it for the next 30 days or something. So you can go onto the website and listen to all the shows that have happened in the past month. And It's the best. WXNA and the Gospel Hour. The guy who plays it, he's not like a gospel guy. I mean, he's not like a church person. He's a guy that just loves blues music and gospel music, and has been. The first time I met this guy, he had a camcorder set up in the back of a room, camcorder videoing T-model Ford. He has volumes of videos of these old blues guys, and he was capturing it all before internet, before anybody was caring, and he was just like, I need to document all this because he's been in this part for a long time.
What is his name, the host of that?
His DJ name is called DJ Mojo, and his name is Mike, but we call him I just call him Mojo. I've called him Mojo for years, and he is part of the Mando Blues Project, which was in Nashville, an off-grid pirate radio blues station that I got to go play at out in a military tent outside of Nashville, but that was a special time. Anyway, he's now part of WXNA, and he runs a blues show, and he runs the Sunday morning 1-hour sanctified gospel show, and it is the best. It is the best.
Well, thanks for giving props and amplification to him here on the podcast, because that sounds groovy to me.
It is.
You sent me a picture this morning of somebody with a Silvertone. Who was that?
Well, the guy in the middle is Sonny Boy Williamson, and he's a famous harmonica player, and he's the one that originally played the Bring It On Home that Led Zeppelin mimics before they play the rest of the song. That's them pretending to be Sonny Boy Williamson. Yes, exactly. And
Matthew's taught me a lot about harmonica players too, and he tried to teach me harmonica. It didn't go well. So.
They're very good. They're very good, and you can see on that kick drum. There's been a cropped image of that photo going around for a lot of years, but this was the first time that it was taken, or the photo of, like, you can see the background, and it's so great because you read the kick drum and it says like King Biscuit Flower Hour, Blind Willie, it names all the people, and I'm not even sure it resonates with who's actually playing. It just happened to be on the kick drum, and then there's Sonny Boy Williamson, and then the guitar player. It mentions his name in the credits, but I didn't catch his name. But he's a blues guy, and they're all just in a field out front of a house, just like as down home as it gets. And he's playing
a Masonite guitar with lipstick pickups. It was inexpensive, and that's why we continue to find these archival footages of bluesmen with affordable guitars. Their guitars were not fancy guitars.
And that's still the case. When you go through Mississippi and over into Tennessee and to where these blues spots, go to Beale Street right now, you're not going to see all these fancy $2,000 Gibson Les Pauls. You're going to see some weird guitars you don't even know about. Like, I don't know where they get them. Like, but they don't have the normal guitars. Still, they're playing budget-friendly guitars, but then their mojo speaks through it so heavily that it's like it never even mattered. It might be messed up if they had nice guitars. It might not work the same. But yes.
Primitive sounds for primitive music. You've got some amazing guitars, and I'm very sorry I'm going to have to continue to from time to time bless you with a guitar, I guess, because we got episodes to do. And that guitar that you've got, that's like Bo Diddley's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inspired by Bo Diddley's guitar.
Yes. My custom one from Matthew's Guitar Company.
We're going to have to talk about that one.
Shout out. Yeah, let's talk about that one soon. That one's one of a kind. So is this one.
I have a history of... Yes, but okay, do you want to give me some gospel while we sign off? I'm going to pick up my phone and reluctantly hang up with Matthew because I always love seeing him.
Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to a land where joys will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Bless you, child.
Bless you. Have a blessed rest of your Sunday. And
Thank
everybody
you.
else out there in Radioland.
Thank you so much for your time today, Matthew. Hanging up.
All right.
If you hear excellent tone and the sound of birds chirping, it means you've made it through an entire episode of the Lipstick Pickup Podcast. You're as free as a bird now, but I hope you'll join me again soon. Comments or questions? I can be reached at emily@thelipstickpickup.com.